How you doing, guys? It's Mike from Lumin Lights, and you are looking at the Wall 4. It is a wall mountable DMX controller for controlling lights in a room. This is perfectly suited for hotels, bars, restaurants, even your home if you want to automate some of the lighting in your home. It's a small unit. It's about 4 inches across by 4 inches across. It features a series of touch buttons. On the bottom here we've got letters red, green, blue, and white, RGBW. We've got a mode button here. We have a speed and brightness button here. We have numerical buttons here, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we have a color wheel and a master on-off switch. Just to look at the back of the unit real quick. This again is wall mountable. It does come with a wall mount bracket, and this can be put into an electrical conduit box. You would hook up standard AC power to this, and you would plug your connect your connectors here. There's a little wire block underneath. You don't need the ground, just the hot and the cold. And then you would take a DMX cable. You can cut the end off of one side and put your ground and pins 2 and 3, and they're all labeled right here on a little chart. So you get your DMX in, and the other end is connected to a standard DMX cable that you would plug into a controller, a DMX transmitter like we have here, our DMX Deluxe box, or you could run that cable directly into your first light and run the lights in series. We're going to set this up just to illustrate what you would do in a larger room, say like a hotel, a bar, or a restaurant. So we've got our controller, we've got our DMX cable out of the controller going into our wireless DMX Deluxe box. This is transmitting 2.4 gigahertz signal, and it's transmitting the DMX signal through this antenna out into the air. To pick it up here, we've got the 3 lights to demonstrate. We have our Slick Park Quad, which is in 4-channel mode, red, green, blue, and white. We have our Power Par Quad, again RGBW, red, green, blue, and white. And we have one of our LED pin spots. We don't have a 4-channel unit on hand at the moment. This is a 6-channel mode, so it's going to be a little different, but I just wanted to show you control of various fixtures. Now the reason I have this set up this way is, as an example, say you were doing a room. You were doing pin spots in the ceiling to pin spot tables or walls or features. You're using par cans possibly in the ceilings again to do wall washes. And maybe you've got a couple of cases of battery lights that you take out to put in various spots depending on how the room is set up. So we can control we can control 4 different fixtures or 4 different zones. And that's what the numbers here are. These are controlling zones. So when I press zone 1, I can assign zone 1 to be any light I want. So let's say, for example, the way I have this set up here, I have my Slick Park Quad set up on zone 1. I have the pin spots set up on zone 2, and I have the Power Par battery operated wirelessly controlled LED par can on zone 3. Now let's start with the Slick Park Quad, the first light. I'm going to press 1 to activate. Well, actually, first let's turn this on. So when you press the button, you'll see there's a little blue LED light that lets you see this in the dark. You press power, and now you'll see the LED on number 4 came on because we had that one turned on. I'm going to turn that off just by holding it, and it'll go off. Now I'm going to press number 1. Now watch, there'll be a little blue LED light that turns on once I press it. There it is. And now the Slick Park Quad, which is the white par can right here, I'm going to be controlling the various functions. Again, this is in 4-channel mode, and when you're setting up your room, you have 4 zones. Each one of these zones has 4 DMX channels. So zone 1 starts on DMX address 1 and uses DMX address channels 1, 2, 3, and 4. Zone 2 has 4 DMX channels, and it starts on DMX address 5, so it will be 5, 6, 7, and 8. Zone 3 is starting on DMX address 9, 4 channels again, so on and so forth. So starting with 1, you can manually turn on the red, green, blue, and white, and we'll see that right now. I'm going to press red, and you'll see that the red LEDs came on. Now they're kind of dim. Why is that? Why aren't they on full? Because you can control your brightness. You can either tap the brightness speed button right here, and you see as I tap this, it takes a while, but the red will change its minute adjustments. This is if you want to tweak it slightly. Or what's a lot easier to do is you can just press the red button and hold it. And the first press, you see the light is getting brighter and brighter. The light will go all the way to its maximum value of brightness. And we're there right now at 255. Okay, let go. We're staying at red. Now if I hit red again, it turns the light off. If I press it again, we're right back to full where we were. Now if I want to dim the light, I press red and hold it again, and now the light will go from full brightness all the way down to 0 if I don't let go, or I can let go at a certain point when I get to the dimness that I want. If I press it again and hold it, now the light is going to go back up. So basically it's like a garage door opener. Press it once, the door opens, let it go all the way to the bottom, and the door shuts. Press it again, the door will open. If you hit the button when the door is halfway, it'll stop where it is and reverse its direction. Same thing with the light. So that's our red. There's our green. There's blue. And again, that blue's kind of dim, so I'm going to turn that all the way up. There we go. Turn blue off, and there's our white. Now, the beauty of this is the simplicity and the ease. It would take 5 minutes to train staff at, say, a hotel on how to operate this, and you can actually set the room to any color you want. Say, for example, you have a party and the guest wants the room to be purple. Well, purple is basically mixing red and blue together. So we just set our red and we set our blue together, and now we've got a nice purple. But say it's a wedding and the bride says, well, I want more of a pink rather than a purple. That's fine. To get more of a pink, we just turn down the blue. Now the blue is at full brightness, so I'm just going to press and hold blue until the light dims, and I'm going to watch the color. And there it goes, it's dimming. And I'm going to stop right there. And I've got a nice hot pink. So let's turn off our blue, let's turn off our red. So now let's go to the next light. Let's go to our pin spot. Let's hold that to turn it off. Now the light is off, so that zone is turned off. Now I press 2. And since this light is only in 6-channel mode, it doesn't have a 4-channel mode. We have another version with 4 channels. Channel 1 is the master dimmer. Channel 2 would be red. Channel 3 would be blue. Channel 4 would be green. And we haven't got another channel for the white. But channel 1 is the master dimmer. So I'm going to turn on red, and I'm going to hold this to turn on the dimmer on the pin spot. There we go, it's going up. It's going to strobe because that's part of the dimming program, and then it's going to go to full brightness. So there we are, and now I'm going to touch white because the white is on. Now all the lights are off. Now if I press green, which is really red because this light is in 6-channel mode, you can see there's our red, there's our green. The green is dim, I'm going to make it brighter. There we go. And finally our blue. And there's the blue. So let's turn those off. And now I want to grab my battery operated par can. That's on zone 3. So just press 3 and it's already on blue. So let's see, there we go again, our red. And I'm going to press and hold and bring our red up to full. That's up to full. Our green. Let's see what green is at. There's our green. Now I want to mix red and green together to make yellow. And there we go, we got a nice yellow. Maybe I want to turn this off. I want to do green and blue to make aqua. And there we go. And I can raise the brightness of the blue to change the color of the aqua, make it more blue or less blue. So we've covered the individual functioning of a light. You can control the individual colors. You can also use the color wheel. So right now we're still on our power par. I can select white, and now the light is white. I can scroll this over to red, to pink. Let's come up now to blue, and to green, and to yellow. So basically scrolling the color wheel here, you can change the color again by eye. If you don't want to manually mix colors, you can do it with the wheel. Alright, so we've covered individual control of the lights. Now say you want to grab a couple of different lights for the room. And just for simplicity's sake, I'm going to say that, that these are wall washers and the power par is pin spots up in the ceiling shining down on the tables. So I'm going to press 1 to grab my par can, and I'm going to set that to red. There we go. And now I'm going to turn that off just temporarily by holding it. And now I'm going to select 3, which is our pin spot. I'm going to set that to blue. And now we have our blue. And now I'm going to press 1 again because I saved that on red. So now we've got our pin spots are red and our pin spots are blue and our par cans are red. Now they're both selected. Once I press this and you see the blue light, now I can make them both green, turn off the blue and the red, and now they're both green. Turn off the green, they're both blue. Turn off the blue, now they're off. Both red, so on and so forth. So you can control individual fixtures, you can control them together as groups, you can use individual red, green, blue, and mix combinations thereof and adjust the brightness of each color in order to get the color you want, or you can use the color wheel. Now, the brightness we've already covered, the brightness and speed. If you have the lights chasing, for example, you can control the speed by tapping this to make it go faster or slower. We're going to show you that right now. So the next thing we're going to cover now is the mode button. That's the only thing we haven't covered. And the mode button actually has pre-built shows and colors into it. So, for example, when I hit the mode button, there we go. You see the lights, they're on the last program I was on, but we're going to go from the beginning. So I'm going to press this one more time, and we're going to start at the beginning, which is red. So first pre-programmed color is red. Press the mode button again. You've got green, and then blue, and then yellow, and then purple, and then cyan or sort of aqua, and then white. And now after white we go to RGB auto mode, or skipping from color to color. And now you see it's skipping pretty fast, and this is where we can use our speed button. If we just start tapping this, you see it's getting faster. And now I've gone as fast as it can go. Now it goes back to very slow. And as I tap this button each time, the changes are getting faster and faster because I'm increasing the speed or the rate at which the colors jump. So this is jumping in red, green, blue. It's mixing basic colors. Now if I hit the mode button again, the next mode is also a jump program, and I'm going to increase the speed a little bit, but this jump program is not just jumping between red, green, and blue. It's jumping between the 7 different colors that we did previously, the fixed colors, the red, green, blue, yellow, purple, white, so on and so forth. The next press of the mode button goes into a fade mode, and again this is fading between red, green, and blue. And again, you can hit the speed button to adjust the rate of how fast it fades, from very slow to, as we tap this, it's going to get faster. And then finally, the last tap, you are in the second fade mode, which is fading the 7 preset colors. And that's basically it. So again, very small, 4x4, can be easily mounted in a wall. It's very sleek, it's very compact. You can set this up by hooking it directly with DMX cable from the unit to the lights and daisy chain lights, or you can use a wireless transmitter and wireless receivers. And I forgot to show you, I'm controlling the power part. It already has its built-in controller, built-in receiver. And for the other units, we sell a wireless DMX receiver, which you can see right here. And we just plug that into the back of our lights, and this receives the DMX signal coming from our deluxe box. And with that, you can set up any room, train your staff in literally about 10 or 15 minutes, or just have them watch this video, and you'll be controlling your rooms in a few minutes. Hope you enjoyed. Again, this is Mike from Lumin Lights. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact by phone or off our website.